guys, and welcome back to my channel. Today's video is going to be my favorite highlighters. These are just the highlighters that I cannot live without and I'm just utterly obsessed with, and I hope you enjoy. So, without further ado, let's get on into it. So, my first highlighter that I want to talk about is by Wet n Wild, and it is the Wet n Wild Color Icon Bronzer SPF 15, and it is in Reserve Your Cabana, and this is what it looks like. It's just a big old fat bronzer, and I'm obsessed with this. It's such just like a natural highlight. The only thing, it's very subtle. And for me, I like more of a subtle highlight. I'm not into that whole, blinding highlight like trend. I just don't, that's just not for me. I like more of a natural, glowy highlight. And so this is definitely one of my favorites. I use this to set my under eyes a lot, and it just works so flawlessly. And I'm just obsessed with this highlighter. Next we have this is probably one of the most talked about highlighters. It is the Becca Champagne Pop, but I just have mine in the Champagne Pop Split because I just love this color blush. So I just think that this just works better for me, having my favorite blush and my favorite highlighter. And I love this highlight. I think it's not perfect for my skin tone, but it works with some looks. If I do more of a natural bronzy look, I can pull this highlight off, but not every day. It definitely has to be with like a bronzier, like smoky look that I can wear this highlight. But other than that, I love the formula. I think it's amazing highlight. Next I have this one by Pixi, and it is the Pixi Beauty Blush Duo in Rose Gold. And so it is technically a blush, but it looks way more like a highlight. I don't know if you can see that very well, but it looks way more like a highlight, and it's such a pretty natural highlight. Again, that's what I'm into. The very brittle highlight. No, the pretty highlight, the pretty natural highlights. That's just what I'm into and I love. Next we have another, again, natural highlight, and this is the Benefit High Beam. And I love this liquid highlight. It's the best liquid highlight I've ever tried. It's so beautiful. It comes with like a little wand, like brush wand, like so. And I'll blend this in for you. Let me grab a sponge. But it's just, if you blend it in with a sponge, it's just the most prettiest. Don't mind the other swatches, but it's just the most prettiest glowy liquid highlight, and I'm just obsessed with it. It's so good. So I highly recommend the Benefit High Beam. Next I have another, again, subtle highlight to talk about, and it's again also by Benefit. They make really pretty highlights, and this is the Benefit What's Up, and I just have the little sample size. But it's such a pretty highlight, and you get a lot of bank. Like, look at that. That's a lot of product. But again, this is just such a pretty, simple, glowy highlight, and I think it just looks beautiful on the skin, and I love it. Next, I have, this is a highlighting palette, or not palette, but bronzer, blush, and highlight palette. And this is the not Benefit Too Faced Sweet Peach Glow palette. And I love this palette, you guys. I'm just obsessed with it. It's my favorite bronzer, blush, and highlight trio. It's amazing, and it smells like peaches, and I love that smell. It smells so good. But this highlight is super pretty. It's just that beautiful natural highlight, and this palette creates just the most perfect glowy look that I think is beautiful. Beautiful. Next I have my top two favorite highlights. So these are just my two. I have one that's blinding, like I feel like I'm doing like a night out look that I love, and then I have my just all-time favorite highlight. Let's talk about this one first. So this is Ofra, and this is in blush bronzer in illuminating blush strips. And it's such a beautiful highlight. And what I love about this highlight is, you can see, it has the darker colors on the top and then the lighter on the bottom. And I just think you can either mix them all together and it creates this beautiful gold highlight, or you can take just one of them with like a small highlight brush and they work out beautifully, and like it's such a blending. It's the highlight that I have on today and I have it on my eyes, and I just love this highlight. I use the top two colors and it's such a beautiful, natural, glowy highlight. Now I have my all-time favorite highlight. You guys already know. It is the Mary Luminizer. It is just my favorite highlight of all times. I'm just obsessed with this. It's so natural. It's so beautiful. It's so glowy. And I think that's what the perfect highlighter is. So now I want to talk about some highlight brushes that I have that I just thought would be, that I just wanted to quickly mention. Let me grab it. Where's my other one? Okay. So I have about 6 brushes. These are just all of the brushes that I used to highlight with and I just love. So the first one, let's start with drugstore. So the first one is the e.l.f. Small Tapered Brush. And this is just a beautiful highlight brush. It just, you know, applies that highlight, pop and highlight, and I love this brush. Next I have this one, and this is a very common brush. It is the Real Techniques, the Real Techniques setting brush, but I know that a lot of people use this for highlight. And it's a great highlight brush if you want that very blinding highlight that's small. Like, it works and I love it. Next I have one by Luxie Beauty, and this is the Precision Foundation Brush. But I use this as a highlight brush or to set my under eyes. Because it's like that really small, not dense, but it's just a really great highlight blush or setting brush. Next I have two by BH. And this one is the BH Cosmetics number 4 brush. And I'll link everything down below. But this one has some fallout. Some hair that's shedding. I don't like that. But it's a great highlight brush. Again, it just does what it's supposed to do. And I think it's amazing. My last highlight brush, and then I want to talk about one that gets your inner corner. But this is just a BH Cosmetics number 3 brush, and it's just that beautiful tapered brush, and I love it. Next, I want to talk about this Morphe brush, and I love this brush so much for the inner corner. It is an amazing inner corner brush. It fits right in there, and I love it. It is the Morphe E18 brush, and it is just the perfect little brush that gets your inner corner highlight poppin'. Like, look at that inner corner highlight. It's beautiful, and I love it. Okay, guys, that is it for this highlight brush video. I really hope you enjoyed. Don't forget to give it a thumbs up if you like it, and subscribe down below for more. And I will see you in my next one. Bye, guys.